Hello everyone, this is Greg from Mystery Honey. Today's video is going to be about what to do if a swarm has taken up residence in some old equipment or some stored equipment. A bit of backstory: I brought some brood boxes, an entrance and a floor to my mating apiary to do a video on how to transfer a nucleus colony into a full-size hive. What's happened is, over the past few days, a swarm has taken up residence in the 3 boxes. So I'm not quite sure how big the swarm is. I'm not quite sure how many frames it's covering. All I know is that there's a swarm in there. So what I'm going to be doing is going in, exploring, seeing if I can see any disease, because if there's any disease, I'm going to have to melt all of the wax out. I'm going to have to sterilize all the boxes and the frames. It's one of those things that swarms are really good fun to catch, but they bring a lot of disease into apiaries, so you have to be very, very careful, especially when you have no idea where they've come from. So we're going to go in, we're going to have a look at the size of the swarm, we're going to have a look at any frames that they've started to lay brood in, or they've started to store nectar or even produce honey. We're going to see if there's any disease, and if there's no disease that I can see, or if the queen's not started laying, I'm going to try and shake them down into a single box and take any frames that they've touched and put that into a single box as well. So anyway, let's see what happens, and I'll go into more detail when I'm there. So I'm going to have to do the rest of this video without a microphone because my microphones keep dying on me. That's what you get for buying cheap stuff off Amazon. So here's the triple stack. As you can see, the little bees are coming through this little gap here that's been caused by a frame lug that's just not been seated properly. I don't know if you can see it. Where's my finger? There. So the bees are getting in and out of there. There is an open entrance over here, but they're not using it, so that's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, let's crack it open and see what's in there. So I've had to bring you quite close so you can hear what I'm saying. There we go. Take the lid off. I guess it also gives you a closer look as well. Just lift this hive up. There we go. So, the bees have moved up here at least. It's interesting. Huh. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take it all the way down to the bottom box, see where they are, and then work my way up, because it's usually easier that way. As you can see, because I wasn't expecting to get any bees in here, I haven't actually arranged the frames properly, so off the cock. This is the bottom box. This is the one that they're using as an entrance. As you can see, all the bees are collecting there. What I might do is, when I knock it down to a single box, I might leave the lid ajar so they still know how to get in. While things are coming in from that direction, I might move the entrance. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. Okay. But it doesn't seem that they are actually using this box at all. They're just using it as a landing place for, as you can see pollen coming in, and they've probably got loaded with nectar. So I'm going to move this box out of the way, turn the entrance that way, and then at an angle, and then at least they know how to get in and out. So move this box out of the way. So this is the empty box, apart from the workers. I'm not used to putting a hive at an angle, so that's interesting. Right, so this is the second box. I'm going to have a quick look through here. See what I can find. These are all empty frames. So it seems that the swarm has... can you see that? You need to be very careful what you can see. Knocked you over. So the swarm has found some honey that was originally in here. You can tell they found it because there's rougher edges around the cappings, so it means that they have actually started biting into it. Also, generally they patch it up in large patches, and if you look there, it's kind of irregular. It's like circular patches they use, so they're going into it and they're taking up the honey there. So that could be the reason why they've been drawn to this box. Keep looking. So this is filled with nectar, so they are using this to store nectar, so these frames are in use. Yeah, this has got nectar on it. Oh, sorry, it will be. Yeah, so this has got nectar on it. You can see the shininess in these cells. So they are collecting it. I don't see any eggs or anything this level, so they've probably decided that they're going to use the other one as the brood box. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this one away as well. And we'll go with the one that's being used as a brood box, which I'm guessing is this one. Slightly heavier than the other two. And it's got more bees in as well, attached to the fence. So what we're going to do is just lift up some of these outer frames. So this was from a dead out that occurred during winter. See, there's still some dead brood here. That's fine. This colony died. The cluster was too small, so they perished unfortunately, and the brood died as well. Empty frame. Move that to the side. Have a little bit of honey as well. Yeah, so these three boxes had a bit of honey stored in them, so that's probably what's drawn the swarm into these hives. Yeah. So this is why, if you're dealing with dead outs, you should always block them off. So let's block off dead outs, because if there was any disease in these frames, I've just transferred it to the swarm. Fortunately, I know that these dead outs were due to a drone laying queen was one of these boxes, and two of them, the cluster size got too small. So that's the reason why I'm not too fussed. As you can see, they're already packing the nectar in. Doing a great job, actually. See any eggs. So what I'm looking for is any eggs or any queens, just because I want to make sure that this isn't just going to fly here and die out. So if it hasn't got a queen, or if it's got a virgin queen, if it's got a virgin queen, I'll leave it for a couple of weeks to see if any eggs start appearing. Right, so this is a good example of what to do if you do get swarms. So swarms are amazing at making comb. They are bred to create comb. So in the small space that was between these two frames here, they've created this flap of comb here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try and zoom in when I'm doing this. So bees love bee space. This is another reason why it's always important to have all your frames correctly spaced, just because otherwise they'll start creating comb like this, and it's a pickle to get rid of, especially when it's on normal comb, because when it's on normal comb like it is on this one, the bees just learn, oh okay, we need to start making brace comb here from now on, because they warp the actual comb itself like this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use a hive tool and just start hacking away at this and bring it back to, not foundation, but back to the wood, because I don't want them to keep thinking that this frame requires extra wax. And what they've actually done here is they've capped cells of honey, which are here, and then they've started producing even more comb on top of the capped cells. So if I push that aside, you can see the capped honey underneath. I've never seen that before. That's interesting. But yeah, swarms are just monster comb builders. They will, if you put a box full of foundation in, they will have that box drawn out in probably a week or so. So I'm still looking for eggs, and I still can't find any. They've been here long enough to produce a load of nectar, or collect a load of nectar rather. But I've not seen any eggs whatsoever. So my guess is that it's a virgin queen. Bees always swarm with a queen. They never swarm unless there's a queen with them. Right, so this is the only frame I've seen that's actually not covered in nectar. So what I'm going to do is get my handy torch out and have a look for eggs. And I'm seeing some eggs and some larvae, so she's definitely a laying queen. So there we are, that's good. Just need to find the old girl now. I don't need to find them. I like to find them just to check that they're alright. So this swarm is too young at the moment for me to do a disease check. There's no capped cells really, and the larvae is far too young. It's too small for me to look at and see if there's any disease or anything like that. So I'm going to have to leave this for another week probably, until there's some capped cells. I'm not seeing the queen, but that's okay. That's fine. So she's gone to the centre frame to lay eggs, and that's also fine. These guys, look, if you see there, that was where a gap was, and they've already started filling that up with proper comb. That's impressive. I always find swarms very impressive. Right, so let's push this up. If we can. Oh, let's have a look at this one. So just because I want to make sure that all of the frames that these guys are using are in the same place, I'm going to take out these ones because they're not using these particularly, they're just robbing from it. And this one, yeah, just robbing again. Frames that were in other boxes that they're currently using to store nectar and anything else really. No, they're just robbing from that one. Any that they're just stealing from, I'm just going to shake them off. Just because from the amount of nectar that they're using, oh that's actually just nectar. Nectar on that one. It's annoying because until I do a disease check on these guys, I cannot use any of these frames or boxes because I do not want to be spreading disease around. So put these frames up and then shake these out of this box. Box, check. And that, kids, is how you break a box. And then there's genuinely no bees in this box, so there's a few. But yeah, right. So what I'm going to do is fill the frames back in now with stuff taken out, and then leave them to it. Oh. Another trick is to give them particularly manky comb. because swarms are really good builders, and their main aim is to prepare a space for being ready for their queen to lay. So they will take out all of that fermented pollen that has gone a bit rotten. They'll clean it up and they'll build up any cells that need to be built up. Or if you've got any damaged frames which have gaps in, they're good as well. So put this in, close the lid, slightly ajar, and then actually are they going in the entrance? Oh, they're going in the entrance, it's fine, I don't need to do the jar thing. Close it up and then leave it for a week or so. Now, if this swarm seems to be disease free, I'm still going to take it to my quarantine apiary, just because sometimes disease takes a bit longer to come out. Just to show how adaptable bees are, it's been about an hour or so, and all the bees now from that swarm are entering the entrance block, and they're no longer trying to get through the roof. It's incredible, isn't it? Look at them. Next port call is to try and figure out where they came from. Right, I think that is it for today's video. I hope you all have a really nice day. Bye bye.